What it do? Beds.
Fellas, obviously this week is UFC 303 O'Malley versus Murad, but to be honest, this might be one of the worst cards we've had top to bottom from a pay-per-view this year in its entirety. Despite being hyped up as it's going to be the next big thing in the UFC, the next big pay-per-view since UFC 300, one of the most stacked cards this year, an unmissable pay-per-view in the Sophia that's going to be one of a lifetime, is what Dana White has been calling this fight, even before the card got announced and the fight's got announced. So we're going to be taking a look at UFC 303 as a whole, and why it's genuinely one of the most disappointing cards we've had this year. I mean, listen, the main three fights in this card, from the featured fight to the main event, I have no problem with. I think Sean O'Malley versus Merab is a really interesting fight. It's one of the most hyped fights I've been in a while. Well, hyped I've been for a fight in a while, especially in the bantamweight division. Wrestler versus striker, they both look unstoppable. That's a really good main event. Any pay-per-view that you put that on, it's going to be a great fight. And the core main event, again, I'm not a massive hater of the matchup. I don't want to see it in, a fourth time. I don't want this to be some Moreno versus Figueiredo quadrilogy, but I'll happily take it a third time. It's probably one of the more interesting female fights out there. And then for Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez, again, another good fight that they've added to this card. The matchmakers obviously did well with the main three fights. I've been waiting for this fight since it got cancelled in UFC 303. I really like the fight. I think it's going to be a banger. Big opportunity for Diego Lopez. So the main three fights in this card, from the featured fight to the main event, I have no problem with, and I think the matchmakers did a really good job at shaping this card up. But it's almost as if after these three fights got made, the matchmakers went home or just left the rest of the card to be a steaming pile of dog shit, because the rest of the main card, Daniel Zeluba versus Ribovics, Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Odi Osborne. Odi Osborne on the main card in 2024. I mean, first of all, Daniel Zeluba, he's 3-1 in the UFC, and he's managed to make it on the main card of one of the most stacked pay-per-views this year. And even worse, Ribovics, listen, he had that really good KO over Terence McKinney a couple of months ago. It was a really good knockout, but he's 2-1 in the UFC, and he's made it to the main card of a pay-per-view. And like I said, his opponent's Daniel Zeluba. And if that wasn't the main problem on this card, Ronaldo Rodriguez, Odi Osborne, is on a main card of a pay-per-view in 2024. The guy that has lost more fights in the UFC than he has won is in a main card of a pay-per-view. Odi Osborne, one of the worst flyweights going, has made it to the main card, and he's going to be taking on Ronaldo Rodriguez, a guy who's 1-1 in the UFC and lost on the Contender Series years ago as well. So the main card already, if you take away the main three fights, is already super disappointing. It's not even like some Alex Morono versus Nico Price action, because at least at one time they were, fairly decent names. These are just complete, they're not even up and coming. They haven't even built themselves up enough to be an up and coming yet. Put them on like the fight night main card. That, to be the main card of one of the most stacked pay-per-views this year, or at least so-called, is disappointing. But it's not even just the main card that's the problem. It's the rest of the card. I mean, first things first, there's only 10 fights on the entire card, which is significantly less than most pay-per-views. So we already got a shortage of fights, and they haven't even stacked it all. I mean, apart from Aldana, Torres, Joshua Banner, and Raul Rosas Jr., the rest of the fighters in the prelims, in my opinion, really make the card disappointing. There's only 2 ranked fighters in the entirety of the prelims, and there's obviously the first 2 fights opening up the main card. None of those are guys are ranked either. So I'm going to be going through some fights that I think the UFC should have added to UFC 306. The fights that I think if the UFC strategically planned, they could have made for this UFC 306 card, rather than the steaming pile of dog shit that we've got. Because again, it's been happy with this really good card, the Sophia, one in a lifetime. We're never going there again. It's super expensive. At least make the card pretty good. It seems like they spent all the money on the Sophia just to make the card lackluster. But anyway, the first fight I've got for this card, it seems like a bit of a no-brainer. And it should have been Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi, the #1 contender fight, or at least maybe, a big fight in the flyweight division. Now, I know they've just been announced for November, so we are getting this fight regardless, but it would have been a no-brainer to put this on the Sophia. Brandon Moreno from Mexico, put it on the Sophia. I think if you told Brandon Moreno you want to fight on the biggest Mexican pay-per-view we've had in a while, on the one-in-a-lifetime pay-per-view in Sophia, the card that's getting hyped up as UFC 300 Part 2, I know Moreno said he wanted to take a break, but I don't think he would get rid of the opportunity of fighting on the Sophia just so 2 months later to fight Amir Albazi in a fight night main event. So I think if you would put Moreno where he's fighting, the card that he's on, and just the occasion that he's fighting on, I don't think Moreno would have rejected it against Amir Albazi. It's a big fight as well. Like I said, Brandon Moreno, former flyweight champion, literally paved the way for the Mexican MMA, the first Mexican-born UFC champion in history, isn't fighting on arguably the biggest pay-per-view in Mexico history. I don't understand where the logic is. It would have been a no-brainer to put Brandon Moreno on this card. And I just don't get it, man. Having him a Fight Night main event against Amir Albazi a few months later when it could have been on this big pay-per-view, which I think Brandon Moreno has a really good chance of beating Amir Albazi as well. And even if Amir Albazi wins, listen, if Amir Albazi can beat Brandon Moreno, he's probably going to be fighting for the belt next. It could be classed as a #1 contender fight, at least for Amir Albazi on another big pay-per-view. And again, if Brandon Moreno wins, he's had the first win in ages in front of his home fans in Mexico on a big pay-per-view. It would have been a no-brainer to do Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi. Just have it as like the featured fight on the card. Just before Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. That alone would have made the main card infinitely better than what the dog shit is now. Having Audi Osborne as a flyweight on the main card and not Brandon Moreno or Amir Albazi, in my opinion, is criminal. So Brandon Moreno, Amir Albazi, it should have been on the main card of UFC 306. It was a no-brainer. It doesn't even have to be Amir Albazi, just Brandon Moreno against anyone. The guy who paved the way for Mexican MMA is one of the biggest Mexican pay-per-views we had in ages. So that's the first fight that I think should have been added to the main card of UFC 306. And I know Moreno said he wanted to take a break, so maybe it's not the UFC's fault, but I have a hard time believing that Moreno would have rejected a main card slot on a pay-per-view of UFC 306 just to fight in a Fight Night main event 2 months later against Amir Albazi. Anyway, the next fight that I think should have been added to this card is actually quite a big fight, and it's Dominic Cruz versus Mario Bautista. Again, I know Mario Bautista is matched up against Jose Aldo, but if the UFC was smart, they would have at least tried to do Jose Aldo versus Henry Cejudo for UFC 307, which is an infinitely bigger fight. I think everyone would want to see two legends in Aldo and Cejudo go at it, rather than seeing Aldo and Mario Bautista. No disrespect to Bautista, by the way. That's why I've matched him up against Dominic Cruz on this card. I think this was a bit of a no-brainer. Dominic Cruz coming off a loss, needs to fight down. Mario Bautista, up-and-comer, fighting an old legend. I think this makes more sense than Mario Bautista versus Jose Aldo. So I think Cruz versus Bautista should have been on the main card as well. Cruz hasn't fought in ages. His last fight was all the way back in 2022 when he got knocked out by Marlon Vera with that head kick, and he's been out ever since. He's been hinted a 2024 comeback, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be coming back this year. And he's got Mexican descent, so I guess he can get the whole Mexican fans on his side as well. Dominic Cruz versus Mario Bautista. You know, it's a massive fight as well for the main card of this big pay-per-view. Dominic Cruz, the greatest bantamweight of all time on this card. The big return of Dominic Cruz after being out of the octagon for 2 years. We're going to see how he does when he comes back and faces an up-and-comer Mario Bautista. The big return of Dominic Cruz on UFC 306. It made the most sense, and it's going to be kind of cool to see Sean O'Malley, who people think is going to be the future greatest bantamweight of all time, on the same card as Dominic Cruz, who most would regard as the current greatest bantamweight of all time. So Cruz versus Bautista, I think this would have been a strategic plan to put on UFC 306 over Bautista versus Aldo 307, and then just make UFC 306 last week. Listen, if Mario Bautista does win, who cares, man? The dude's on a big streak anyway. The dude's on a big streak. He's the dark horse of the bantamweight division. And I think if he can go out there and beat Dominic Cruz, he's on a massive pay-per-view at UFC 306 on the Sophia, and he would have made a name for himself in the bantamweight division. So Dominic Cruz versus Mario Bautista again. Nobody wants to see Aldo versus Mario Bautista. I think Aldo, he's coming off a win as well. Aldo's just beaten Jonathan Martinez. Why did he have to face another up-and-comer in Bautista? Makes no sense. Dominic Cruz, Mario Bautista should have been on the main card of UFC 306. I'm not saying the UFC had full control of this, because Dominic Cruz probably would have rejected it, but if they could have made this fight, or at least they should have tried to make this fight, that would have been the smart option to do. Anyway, the next fight I've got on this card isn't between a legend, but it's rather between two up-and-comers and two big prospects, or at least one big prospect and an ex-prospect. Peyton Talbot versus Adrian Yanez. Now, I'm pretty sure this fight is going to happen eventually, but I feel like UFC 306 would have been the perfect place to make this fight. Two up-and-comers on a big pay-per-view like UFC 306. You've got Peyton Talbot, who's probably the biggest prospect right now in the bantamweight division. A ton of hype to his name. His hype is only growing after every fight, and he took no damage in his last fight. Went out there and knocked him out in 20 seconds. He took no damage, so he's not like going from 303 to 306. It's a crazy quick turnaround or anything like that. It ain't no Gene Silver action. And like I said, he's a big prospect, destroyed Cameron Simon, knocked out Yanis Gamora in 20 seconds. I think him versus Adrian Yanez is the fight to make next, and I think it would have made a lot of sense to do it on UFC 306. Peyton Talbot even called out Adrian Yanez in this fight after he beat Yanis Gamora, and I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to see this matchup. Even Adrian Yanez is end up to the fight online as well, so I think this should be next, and I think this should have been could have been a perfect fight to put in UFC 306. And for Adrian Yanez, the dude was once in the same position of Peyton Talbot. This big, up-and-coming prospect, this scary striker who was getting win after win with a ton of hype to his name. Eventually he did get floor checked when he got knocked out by Rob Font, and eventually, obviously, obviously lost to Jonathan Martinez, but he was still a big prospect at one point in a very similar position to Peyton Talbot. And I think regardless of who wins, we could have the future of the bantamweight division in this fight. The future maybe Peyton Talbot, if he can beat Adrian Yanez, he can have a shit ton of hype to his name. If Adrian Yanez can throw check Peyton, well maybe not throw check, but shut down the hype of Peyton Talbot, he's going to have a shit ton of more hype to his name because he's already coming off a knockout as well, and I think he could get a big fight in the bantamweight division. Peyton Talbot, Adrian Yanez, two big prospects, display them on a big card, get the world watching them like UFC 306, because again, it is the next big, well, these guys could be the next big thing for the bantamweight division, and again, the comparisons between O'Malley and Peyton Talbot are never ending. Have them on the same card, let's watch them at the same time on the same card. Sean O'Malley and Peyton Talbot on the same card, but Peyton Talbot, Adrian Yanez, I think this fight should happen next regardless of what card it's on, but I feel like it should have been on UFC 306. It's not a massively quick turnaround for both of them, and like I said, Talbot didn't even get, his last fight was 20 seconds long against Yankee Demore, took no damage, went out there, got the job done and left. Talbot, Yanez, would have made a lot more sense to put on UFC 306, but anyway, the next fight I've got on this card is a fight that was actually originally scheduled to be on UFC 306, and then the UFC fumbled the matchup, and it is Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. This fight had everything going for it. The fact that the UFC fumbled this matchup by not doing the correct contract negotiations really stung this card, because this is one of the most, out of all the Fight Night main events we've got up and coming this year, this is definitely the one I'm looking forward to the most. So, but if they was to put this on UFC 306, I might have not even made this video because I'd have thought I was being ungrateful. Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira is one of the most interesting matchups you can make in the UFC. The two best prospects in the middleweight division right now that happen to be ranked going at it. A great grapple, well, they're both well-rounded to be honest, but a great grappler in Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. This is such a good fight, and I really feel like they missed out by not putting this on UFC 306. Anthony Hernandez, this grappling prospect who just mauled Roman Kopylov, a guy that's on a streak, a guy that's got a ton of hype, a guy that could potentially be the future in the middleweight division. Going against Michel Pereira, one of the most entertaining middleweights on the roster right now, a guy that is super fun to
What the fuck,
dude? Just flashy shit every fight and knows how to get the crowd going. This was the perfect fight to put on UFC 306, and again, the UFC fumbled it. I don't know how they fumbled it with the contract negotiations, but Hernandez versus Michel Pereira should have been on this card. Again, it doesn't really make sense to postpone it, and again, the winner of this fight, I mean, it's just a good fight. You've got Michel Pereira, this well-rounded middleweight who's going out there and finishing people, and seems like he's hit a whole new wave in his UFC career after he made that move to middleweight against Anthony Hernandez, this dangerous grappling prospect who just destroyed Roman Kopylov. This fight had everything going for it. It's a fight that I can't wait for. Even in the Fight Night main event, I still can't wait for it, but it should have been on UFC 306. The UFC fumbled it by not putting it on UFC 306. And the winner of this fight could have easily had like a top 6 opponent or top 5 opponent. I said this before. I think the winner of this fight should face Marvin Vettori. And this could have been like similar to like Caio Bravo versus Jared Cannonier, where the winner of this fight gets a massive fight after this. So Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. UFC fumbled this by not putting this on UFC 306. They actually started off really strong when they announced the fight. And then to let it go really took a hit to his card, because what's the replacement for this Audio Storm versus Ronaldo Rodriguez? So that's another fight that I think the UFC fumbled. And then the next fight I've got is Vicente Luque versus Nick Diaz. Now I know I've said multiple times before I'm not a big fan of this matchup, and I know it was scheduled before for UFC Abu Dhabi, but it seems like the way that the UFC is going, they are going to reschedule this matchup. I have no idea when, but they've said that they are going to reschedule it. So I thought if you're going to reschedule it, just do it for UFC 306. Get it out the way. Stop making Nick Diaz wait longer than he has to wait. Let's just get the fight over and done with.
Oh my god, that's stop.
Nick Diaz, the big return of a UFC legend. Everyone's going to be hyped to see. Well, not everyone. People might be happy to see Nick Diaz. Again, another guy with Mexican heritage as well. Him versus Vicente Luque. If you're going to reschedule that fight, do it for this card. Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque. Get it over and done with. The return of Nick Diaz. The return of Vicente Luque. He hasn't fought in a while either. Do it for UFC 306. Get it out the way. Rather than postponing it for some dodgy fight night later on in the year, just get it over and done with. Again, Nick Diaz, a fan favourite. Another legend to put on UFC 306. A card that's full of legends and prospects as well. Everything going for this card had they done. Luque versus Nick Diaz. So I think that should have been the fight. They all can reschedule it. Again, the perfect opportunity. It's not like they just had a massive wake up for UFC Abu Dhabi as well. The wake up didn't even happen in the first place. So what the card could have been was a really good card. This is the crap that we got presented with. This was the absolute crap that we've been presented with for this week. And again, like I said, there's some good fights in there. The majority of the card is crap, and there's only 10 fights. And it could have been this. Again, I'm not saying every single fight could have gone through, but theoretically, if the UFC would have played the cards right, it could have been looking something similar to this, where there's so many fun fights in there, and this should have made them more out of the 10 fights they've got. So that's my overall thoughts on the UFC 306 this week. I'm still going to watch it. There's still a couple of good fights on there, but they really fumbled the bag with what could have been a great card, and it seems like the whole hype on this card is not the fighting the fighters, but the skill itself. So let me know your thoughts on the UFC 306 in these matchups. Thank you for watching.
Enjoy incredible savings with up to 35% off new releases. Don't miss out. CDKeys.com. Pay less, gain more.
The wicked witch of the west is dead. Let's not get away. Let me tell you the whole story. Together we're
Okay.
Why is it you're always causing some sort of commotion?
Cause commotion. Some of us are just different. Just follow the road.
well.
Bring folks together is to give out a real good enemy.
This wicked witch.
Don't be afraid. It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.
The wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring.
Okay.
Fellas, it seems like in the UFC, every card there's a big prospect on the rise, or there's just a new prospect for every single card, but not all of them are unbeatable, not all of them are going to go on touch, because I've got some nightmare matchups for every prospect in the UFC. We've seen it time and time again. Some big prospects this year have had a ton of hype, and they were the massive favourite going into the fight, and then they've just not been able to perform. They've met their match, they've met their nightmare matchup, and then they're going to get into the third check zone. So I'm going to go through some nightmare matchups for the UFC's biggest prospects right now. Now, the way this is going to work is, if they are a ranked prospect and if they happen to be in the rankings, they're going to be matchmaking against other ranked fighters. But if these prospects aren't actually ranked, then I feel like it's a bit unfair if I put them against other ranked fighters in terms of nightmare matchups. So if they're not ranked, I'm only going to be matchmaking them against, or putting them against nightmare matchups that also aren't ranked. So we'll start off with the first prospect, which is Sharafati Magomedov, 14-0, 3-0 in the UFC, and seems to be a really good striker in all three of his performances he's put up so far. Now, what would be a nightmare matchup for Sharafati Magomedov would be someone who's obviously a high-level grappler, and just someone that won't let anything bully him on the feet. Listen, we've seen time and time again in the UFC with Sharafati Magomedov, he struggled with grappling in his debut against Bruno Silva, when he fought Macau, when he fought Antonio Tricolo. He struggled with grappling in all three of those fights, and none of those guys were like high-level grapplers as well. He hasn't faced a high-level grappler in the UFC so far. So I can only imagine what a high-level grappler is going to do to Sharafati Magomedov. So the fighter I'm coming against, he's Bo Nickel. I think Bo Nickel's a nightmare matchup for Sharafati Magomedov, and that's exactly why Bo Nickel called him out on Twitter. He gets to fight a big name and he gets a free win. Bo Nickel is a nightmare matchup. He comes from a wrestling background. He had a big wrestling background before the UFC, which is why he got so much hype before he fights. And even in the UFC, he's been able to display his grappling, multiple submissions. His wrestling seems to be super dominant. He has got a couple of things to work on here and there, but he's still an extremely dominant wrestler to say that he's not ranked. So for Sharpton Magomedov, I think Bo Nickal's a nightmare matchup. I think Bo Nickal would easily take Sharpton Magomedov down. From what I've seen in Sharpton Magomedov's 3 fights, he doesn't look great against grapplers. You put him against one of the best unranked wrestlers in the UFC, I don't see that ending well for Sharpton Magomedov. I think Bo Nickal would take him down and sub him in 1 round. And if he doesn't sub him, he'd just wear him out across 3 rounds. But I'm confident he'd find the submission. So for Sharpton Magomedov, great striker. But if we put him against Bo Nickal, he would get squashed in that fight pretty comfortably. So that's the nightmare matchup for Sharpton Magomedov. Then for Bo Nickal himself, 6-0 in the UFC, but he's still a massive prospect himself. I mean, he made the main card of UFC 300 when he was only 5-0. Now, what would be a nightmare matchup for Bo Nickal would be somebody who is also a high-level grappler, especially defensively. Somebody who is dangerous everywhere the fight goes. Someone that's more important, just threatening on the feet as well. Someone who's going to give him a big threat on the feet. We've seen it with Bo Nickal. He's a great grappler. He's a great high-level grappler. But how would he do when he faces someone who can defend those takedowns? When he faces someone that's going to make him work on the feet? So the nightmare matchup I've got for Bo Nickal is Gregory Rodriguez. I'm thinking the middleweight division. Gregory Rodriguez is a nightmare match for Bo Nickal, and I would probably pick at this moment in time Gregory Rodriguez to beat Bo Nickal. Gregory Rodriguez has great grappling. I mean, the team that has such good jiu-jitsu on his back is amazing as well. He's displayed in the UFC so far. In his last fight against Christian Duncan, his grappling is amazing, specifically his jiu-jitsu. And then when it comes to knocking people out, this dude hits like an absolute truck. He's just like just an absolute machine. He's got crazy KO power. And I think if you put him against Bo Nickal, he would do enough to, keep the fight on the feet. And I think he would just walk down Bo Nickal and seriously make it a dogfight. And I just don't think Bo Nickal's tested enough yet to beat a guy like Gregory Rodriguez. Gregory Rodriguez takes all the boxes when it comes to beating Bo Nickal. He's got good takedown defense, he's got good jiu-jitsu, and he's an absolute monster on the feet. And I think he's going to be ranked one day soon. With Bo Nickal, the nightmare matchup I think would be Gregory Rodriguez, especially after his last performance against somebody as well-rounded as Christian Duncan. He really impressed me in that fight, and I think he is Bo Nickal's biggest nightmare in the middleweight division. Now for Peyton Talbot, again, massive prospect, recently got that really quick knockout at UFC 303. People already comparing to O'Malley. Now, a nightmare matchup for Peyton Talbot would be a heavy wrestler, someone that's going to bring a heavy wrestling game, somebody with good stamina, good enough to go 3 rounds fairly easily, and someone that's good enough on the feet. Not necessarily better than Peyton Talbot on the feet, but somebody that's good enough to last on the feet. Now, the reason I say heavy grappling is because we saw in the Contender Series, the fights where Peyton Talbot struggled the most were where he was getting grappled. The only reason he ended up winning those fights was because his opponents couldn't last the full 3 rounds. But from the first round and the second round in that fight, Peyton Talbot was getting that grappled pretty comfortably. So you put him against a high-level grappler in the UFC, I don't think he wins too well. That's why I think the nightmare matchup is Farid Basharat. Mr. Farid Basharat himself, I think, would be a nightmare matchup for Peyton Talbot. This dude has a shit ton of submissions on his record. I think he's just a great grappler although he's got really good submission ability. His ability to take opponents to the ground has been amazing. And even in the UFC in the Contender Series so far, he's already displayed that he's a really good grappling prospect in the bantamweight division. The bantamweight is a division full of strikers as well. So Farid Basharat definitely stands out, which is why I've chosen him. As a nightmare matchup for Peyton Talbot, I think he can get the ground to the floor. I think he can keep it there across 3 rounds. And on the feet, obviously, you want to favour Peyton Talbot in that fight, but I think because of the grappling threat that Farid Basharat has, I think it would be a really dangerous matchup for Peyton Talbot. And it's easy to go and put Peyton Talbot against another high-level striker, but we don't know how good Peyton Talbot's striking is compared to these other high-level strikers. For all we know, he could be miles better. But one thing we do know is that he struggles with grappling from what we've seen in the Contender Series. So I'm going to go with Farid Basharat for Peyton Talbot. Then for Joe Piper, even though he did face Jack Hermansson and lose, I'd say he's still a big prospect, especially after that massive win, also at UFC 303. Now, a nightmare match for Joe Piper, in my opinion, is somebody that can match his scary power. Someone that's not going to be afraid of Joe Piper's power because they have the same power themselves. And also somebody that, just any decent striker, listen, Joe Piper was getting worked on the feet by Jack Hermansson. Any decent technical striker, I think, would beat Joe Piper because, like I said, we know he hits like an absolute truck. He's being labelled as one of the hardest-hitting unranked middleweights, or one of the hardest-hitting middleweights in the world, regardless of if he's ranked or not. And I think he's going to be somebody that's not afraid of Joe Piper's power. So I think a nightmare matchup for Joe Piper would be Bruno Ferreira. This dude is an absolute machine. The Hulk is an absolute machine. His only losses to Ruzi Boyev, and apart from that, he's got 4 KOs in the
Hello
UFC
again,
all in
content.
the first round. His last win was extremely impressive as well. That spinning back elbow. He's just a KO artist. He's even beaten Gregory Rodriguez himself. He KO'd Chinny Phil Hawes. He's such a talented striker, he's Bruno Ferreira, and he hits like an absolute truck. And I think if it was between him and Bornickel on the feet, I already think he's a lot more technical than Bornickel. And as far as power goes, they're fairly even. They both hit extremely hard. And like I said before, Joel Pyth was getting worked on the feet by Jack Kamanson, a grappler. You put him against Bruno Ferreira. I don't know if that ends too well for Pyth. It could go either way. I can see both of them getting KO'd in that fight because they both hit extremely hard. But Bruno Ferreira, because he's so powerful and he's actually a technical striker, I think it'd be a really scary and a dangerous fight for Joe Pyfer, as would he be for anyone else in the division. So, for Joe Pyfer, I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira. Michael Morales, 17-0, undefeated, kind of gone under the radar when it comes to prospects, and he recently got that really good win over Neil Magny, and I think he's definitely going to be ranked, which is why I'm going to put him against a ranked fighter. But a nightmare matchup for him would be someone who offers a grappling threat from everywhere. It's going to be very hard for anyone to stand with Michael Morales unless you're one of the elite strikers, so you've got to be able to offer some sort of grappling threat to him, but also somebody who can handle elite strikers. Listen, if I'm going to say they're a nightmare matchup for Michael Morales, I must have seen them against other elite strikers in the UFC to make me think that way, because Michael Morales is such a crafty striker, he's so unique, and he's also so calm and patient as well. He takes his time, but he's just so good on the feet, he's Michael Morales. So, a nightmare matchup, I'm going to go with one of the biggest names in the welterweight division, Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think simply Shavkat would be a massive threat to him. We've seen him against elite strikers before, but the way that he handled Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, another great striker, just dominated him with grappling that entire fight until they got the submission. Same with Jeff Neal, a back and forth war where he was able to find a submission. So we've seen Shavkat tested against elite strikers before, and he's passed the test. He's undefeated as well, finished every single fighter that he's fought. So yeah, I'm going to say Shavkat Rakhmonov would be a nightmare matchup for Michael Morales, just because of the grappling threat and the fact that we've actually seen him beat elite strikers before. And I'm not saying it would go the exact same way. I'm not saying that Michael Morales is the same as those other guys, but I think Shavkat is a nightmare matchup, not only for Morales, but for most people in the division. Then we've got Mitabek Orobai, another big grappling prospect in the UFC, got that win over Elvis Brennan. Now, a nightmare matchup would consist of somebody who's another good wrestler and grappler, especially defensively. Somebody that's able to survive the onslaught of grappling from Mitabek Orobai. Someone that's actually got 3-round stamina, and I say that because Orobai seemed to be fading in that third round when he faced Elvis Brenner. So you hope it's somebody with 3-round stamina, and someone that is going to make it dangerous on the feet for Mitabek Orobai, and somebody that's going to make it a dogfight. Elvis Brenner tried doing that, he fell short. But we know that Mitabek Orobai is a relentless grappler. If he takes you to the mat, he's going to try and find the submission, and he's very good at doing that. He seems to be one of the best grappling prospects in the lightweight division. So for Mitabek Orobai, in my opinion, a nightmare matchup for him would be Diego Ferreira. This dude has been on a roll recently. I mean, in his last fight, absolutely destroyed Rumbetsky. But you look at this dude, he's got submission threat himself. I think defensively, he's got really good grappling, and offensively, his jiu-jitsu's really good. But more importantly, this dude
Every day I am playing. Feel stress, hero wars, chaos, hero wars. Screw them all, I am slaying.
This was crazy. Who does this?
Why would anyone ever see a TikTok money glitch and run straight to the bank?
Because they're stupid, that's why. What do you mean why? What do you think? Yeah, it's obvious.
I said it's heavy. It is large.
Damn.
No.
There for that free money.
No.
Man.
It's safe to say this TikTok money glitch just ruined so many people's lives, as for some reason people think it's a good idea to try a TikTok money glitch. Now you may be asking, what is this glitch?
Well, the TikTok money glitch is you run up to somebody and you pour a gun on them and you say, give me your money, and then they give you their money. It's like this crazy thing. It's like Grand Theft Auto or something. Can you believe that?
Short version is,
What?
check this out. And if you are dumb enough to actually do this, you will be financially ruined and likely go to jail for this. But there are a handful of scams going on currently. The main money glitch people are talking about is there's apparently some glitch in the Chase banking app where you can deposit a large check that is bad, and then you have a short time limit to actually withdraw the money in cash from the ATM before the check is cleared. And I guess absolute idiots, they're doing this on their own account. And then you have other people who are
Doing this on their own account that has their first and last name, their phone number, their social security number, their place of work. Well, I would say it has their bank account information, but it literally is their bank account. Like, I mean, what do you think is going to happen on camera? Like, yeah, it's like they're giving away free money. Did you hear they giving away free what?
naive enough and didn't know better to let scammers do this in their areas. So clearly the bank started to crack down on this and ended up freezing all the accounts involved with these shady scammers. As here you have a Chase customer getting their accounts frozen while trying to use the money glitch.
Oh, wow.
No. I told you.
How much does it say?
We got a 7-day hold. You put $40,000 on the account, and then they put them on a 7-day hold. I guess in 2024 people are just posting videos.
And then he gets mad. I love how he gets mad at the bank for not giving him $40,000. Man, I do not go with these guys, man. Fuck, man. This bank sucks, bro. Fuck.
Because Chase Bank won't let them steal money. Honestly, this is what the big golf family is this viral.
Absolutely not.
Chase Bank will grab my account like 10 grand. Because that's what ended up happening with the check.
What is my life?
What is my life? What do I even do now, bro? Well, I feel like this problem isn't really that complicated, though, right? Because if you withdrew $10,000, then you could just give them back the $10,000. So then the problem solves itself. Yeah, just give them money. They already went and spent it. If you could spend $10,000 in a day,
What
that's
is my
impressive.
life? Why do I have 11,000 missing from my bank account?
Damn.
Is this like humorous to you guys? Like, is it?
Yes. Great question.
Kiki, I'm on the real, bro.
Yes.
I work very hard for my money. Tell me why I check my bank account after I hear about this Chevy, Chase, whatever. I get 11,000 from my bank account.
You work very hard. You have to write, this is my check that I am depositing for $12,000 to me right now. Okay, give me. This is like, bro, imagine a bank robber, like, at the 12, bro, no. Like, can y'all believe this, bro? They got me down bad. I'm getting canceled out here just because of something I saw on TikTok. Like, what is this?
I don't know whether to feel sad or to feel mad, bro. I'm in shock right now, but I have goosebumps like over my body. Like, I don't know what to feel, bro. Is this how a crash out starts? Like, I then want to drive my car through a goddamn McDonald's and say, get all about it. Like 11,000 from about. Why would is this funny? This is not cute, bro. This is not even real. What is this, bro? Get out.
Demure has been a popular word for like 1 month, and I'm already over. Is committing check fraud at Chase Bank brag or demure? Let me know in the comments down below. I feel like that's a new flavor of brain rot content that's currently.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid girls on Twitter that use that word now. I see it a lot.
Circulating on Instagram. Because the other day I saw an Instagram post that said something around the lines of, is Sonic the Hedgehog demure or brag? And at that point, I just turned off the whole phone. But I noticed that this
Smart. I would have maybe thrown it out the window.
dude has the exact same screenshot of his bank account as the other.
This was probably fake.
chopper, baby.
This gotta be fake. The one of them gotta be fake.
I bet this is my only more account, bro. Like,
Is the same account? No, it's gotta be.
oh.
They're both farming? I hope so.
What y'all niggas do, man? Y'all follow me.
They write the same check?
Go viral, man. This chase glitch. Don't do it, man. Y'all don't do it. Y'all save y'all accounts, get your money. Otherwise, man, this wow, don't do it. Here, come out.
One of them might be real, or we're just seeing multiple people LARPing as self-inflicted victims. And then you had this guy with an alleged.
This shit's so funny to me.
Negative 40 grand balance.
This one they found out was fake. I think this one was fake, right?
Man, they really
This one was
told me
fake?
the next day was supposed to clear. Look at my account, yo.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Bro, what the?
This one seems the fake.
That one's got to be fake. Yeah,
That's
it's gotta
reports
be fake.
themselves, like just wiping their face aggressively. Like,
Oh, people do
it
that.
seems try hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of actual people that this happened to, but from what I'm seeing, there was so many videos of these people promoting it, and they're all
Shopping spree on the way. Chase glitch. How do you
getting
do
wiped,
this?
Unfortunately, before I could download them all. So these super viral videos of these people being really upset with massive negative balances, I'm guessing they're fake, but
A
I did
lot of
find
them
some
are.
videos that were super viral. So I wouldn't be surprised if these super viral videos are still up, but it's probably fake, because, I mean, who wants to snitch on yourself?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, a lot of people, as we've actually covered on this channel here before.
Yeah, they
But
should
hey,
do.
I mean, at least there's a little bit of proof on TikTok.
Y'all, I want to hit that chase play so bad right now, bro. I'm seeing people, my close friends, going up 20, 30K, running it up on chase. I see somebody just hit 90K on Twitter. So I just know if I hit that play, God gonna use me to be the example.
No fucking shit. Absolutely. Yep.
Oh yeah, so let me just go ahead and spray.
This is smart guy. Yeah.
But then there's just so many others that just rip away what little hope I have.
Whether it's dresses or sunglasses, on Vinted you can list your items easily and sell with zero fees. Don't wear it, sell it. Download Vinted.
Half of these have to be. They will use these. There's no way. There's no way, guys.
I can only hope that's a sketch. What's the upside of posting that video?
Bro, like, what you do, bro? Like, you said everything was a go, bro. Like, you know how much trouble you got me? Look, like, they calling me right now, bro.
This is 100%. Okay, well, this is 100% fake. Chase Banks on the phone. 100% fake. That was actually funny.
Okay, so this guy has a fake out of a negative $99 billion balance. But speaking of snitching on yourselves, I found these two posts which seem a little bit more real. As you see with both these screenshots, day one, $100, day two, a whole lot more. But I'm trying to figure out why these documents themselves.
Oh my days.
doesn't make sense. The upside is what? Attention and
I think the reason why it happens is that a lot of people aren't really taught at all about how to think about things, and they aren't taught like the economics of how the banks work, so they don't really get like what's going on. I think that's really what happened. Yeah, Concord video got down? I have no idea why. Yeah, I'd have to look and check. And yeah, let's see here. No sense of danger or consequences? Well, I think that they don't even know that it's happening. That's, I think, the reason why it's interesting. Is like, they're not even sure... Sorry, they don't even know why something like that's happening or what it is because they just don't know what the fuck is going on. I think that's really the reason why, more than anything. So yeah, it definitely makes sense.
Oh, the downside is fraud charges? Like,
I think that people don't even view it as fraud. Yeah, that's the issue. By the way, I think that the Concord video... It seems like it doesn't look problematic to me. Yeah? Now it's okay. It was privated? No, it was, but then it got... I don't know. I mean, like... I don't know. My editor's probably fixing it. Why am I thinking about this? Yeah, he's probably fixing something. It's okay. This is private. I see it. Yeah. It probably had, like, some sort of... Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, it's a sound issue? Yeah, it's no big deal. Like, you know, there it is. Anyway, I think people just don't understand that it's fraud, so they don't think they're going to get in trouble for it. And I think that here's actually the biggest reason. It's because people are broke and desperate, so they will believe anything like this. So they don't really, like, they want it to be true so much that they just believe it anyway.
But hey, I mean, I guess quick money, no matter the consequences,
Of course,
is attractive to some people. Now, people also have to remember, there is no such thing as free money, especially if it's a viral trend called the TikTok chase money glitch. That just sounds...
Who's like, oh, there's this money glitch. Who does this? Like, how can you think like this? Throwing it about now, not the future? Yes.
Sounds like a great way to get arrested. But then you have videos like this.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even focused on this type of behavior due to the direction that I'm trying to project my life in. But that chase bait type, like, sweet right now to me. No cap. I can just hit red chase bait play. I can buy so many shit, like, twins is hitting for 30, 40 balls, 50 balls, like.
I love how my favorite thing about these videos is they remind me of like Trailer Park Boys, where it's like Ricky and Julian and Bubbles. Like their plan is to do some kind of scam and then retire for the rest of their lives on the $12,000 that the scam is going to make them. Like all they need to do is do this one thing, get $40,000, and then they're just going to be good. Like, and everything is totally fucking fine, the big dirty, yeah, bro, like, we just do this one last job, we get this done, and then we retire, and we're done forever, guys. We make it on the highlight. Yeah, one last job. Freedom 45, yeah.
You know how many speeds they can give you?
Thankfully, this guy is only talking about it, even though he's offensive, but his performance shows people either playing no more than 5, or fishing for victims, trying to like trick them into essentially scamming. You got chased, let me know. Someone's PMO. You got chased, let me know. How do you withdraw it all at once? Yep.
It's so sad, isn't it? It's so fucking sad.
How do you do this? Who got Chase? Let me know. I got Chase. Oh no, that's bad news. I saw a lot of people were calling this kiting, but apparently this money glitch isn't kiting. Kiting is apparently when you open multiple bank accounts and you send various amounts of money to each bank account, and they essentially just keep paying each other off. And you're essentially just, I guess, exploiting the latency of the banking system. As the first account, you deposit 100, you send the second account $200, then you send the third account $300, then the third account sends the fourth account $400, and the fourth account sends...
Guys, I just thought of a new TikTok money glitch. Actually, I think this one's too complicated. Because the Chase money glitch was just put in a number and then they give you the money. What? Yeah. So put in like $5,000 and you get $5,000. Well, I want to put in $10,000. Yeah, can't be simpler than that, yeah.
Jesus Christ, that was close.
How do I withdraw it all at once?
And then suddenly you have some money left over, and then like 3 overdraft accounts. But the crazy thing about, I guess, like advanced scams is it takes so much effort that you might as well just make one get a job, because then you don't have the downside, and it's almost the same amount of effort. The people who are trying to scam others in the comments here, I'm assuming it's like some sort of advanced fee scam. And then you have this whole other scam going on in the midst of this, where if you access Chase ATMs with contactless, apparently the ATM doesn't close out from your account when you withdraw cash. You have to click that you're finished on the tap. And apparently it's different from when you insert the card. Because when you insert the card, once you take the card out, you don't have access.
Chase is really fucking up, huh? They're super fucked. That's crazy. Wow. The people are willing to fool themselves? Well, it's like, yeah, does anybody have Chase? Oh, you do? Can you withdraw $10,000 for me and send it? Can you send me, I mean, it's free money, man. Can you just send me, actually, can I get, $17,000? Yeah, just real quick. Just do it. Just right, real quick. Here, why don't you get out 20, you keep 3, give me the 17, we both win. How about that?
How does this happen? So, contactless, you technically still have access because it's the beat. So now you have people putting glue in the slots where people insert their cards. They have to use the contactless, and then they just walk after them and bank on the fact that they don't close out their bank account before they leave the ATM, and then they withdraw their own money from that person's account. The world of scamming is just an all-around terrible place. But
it's just like such a retarded scam. Like, why do you do that? It's like, you know, they have like 7 4K cameras at the fucking ATM. Like, if you go to the ATM, like, you really think that, you think there's no fucking camera there? I don't even understand this. How many cards got cloned? I don't even know. We have the same ATM as where I work. We force you to re-auth if you want to make another withdrawal.
yeah, of course, there's definitely some funny things coming from this. So here I have a tweet saying, like, yesterday, a glitch in Chase Bank system allowed people to withdraw funds they weren't entitled to, prompting the bank to place a 7-day hold on the affected accounts. As a consequence, Chase account holders who participated in this glitch are now dealing with massive negative balances, as well as 7-day hold on their accounts. And then they post this video, which has to be a skit.
Sorry, this one's a joke. Yeah. Yep. This one was a joke. It has to be.
Kick it steady. We having a Chevy party later. We roll with Chevy on us. I'm like most of my accomplishments in life. For all of they ain't want to get their stuff. You have to come and go. Everybody gonna eat tonight.
Like, this is clearly a parody of the people glitch. Yeah. Picture money right there. Yeah, of course. This responded to all this. So we have a New York Post article that says TikTokers are trying to exploit a Chase Bank glitch and discovering the funds at a huge cost. Experts say
An awful lot like check fraud, one of the oldest scams in the book. It's crazy. Like, I wonder, because like I always think about this, like how do for this to like be something that you're gonna get caught, like and like do right? Like do you understand like multiplication? Do you understand algebra? Like, do you understand like so what is supply and demand? Like, when did World War II happen? Things like that, right? It's like what. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, it's just, I've seen it happen. Yeah, like, where are we here? 1800s? Yeah, obviously.
Glitch videos look an awful lot like check fraud, one of the oldest scams in the book. Videos urging customers at the bank to take advantage of a glitch quickly took off online, prompting people to deposit fake checks for large sums of money. But Chase quickly fixed the bug and is clawing back any money doled out to people who didn't deserve it. A spokesperson for Chase Bank told the Post consumers should be skeptical if something seems too good to be true, and it likely is.
If you think it like, yeah, there's this free money glitch where everybody just gets all the money as if you just put in a number and it just gives you that much money. Like, how do you get? It's unbelievable that people get fooled by this.
We're aware of this incident and it has been addressed. Regardless of recent online depositing a fraudulent check, withdrawing the funds from your account is fraud, plain and simple. At it. But I mean, hey, at least we're getting some pretty entertaining skits at it. It's funny.
What's up,
That's a skit, right? Yeah, that's a skit. But I mean, hey,
It's gotta
at
be,
least
right?
no one
It has to be.
ran the police officer who's their real
No.
name and lied about it on national TV like this guy did. You can check out that story here. This is just insane. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
That is fucking crazy. I don't understand how. I don't get how so many people were fooled by this. And I feel like the only reason why is because people are broke and desperate. I'll link you guys the video. This is a good one. Give it a like. America's Special. What I find to be really impressive and amazing about this is the fact that so many people, the saddest thing about it to me is how happy they are. They're so happy that it's happening. They're like, yes, this is the greatest day of my life. I'm finally gonna be fucking rich. You know, stupid people? Yeah. It's like, how do you even think this way? But I think that they're probably so desperate and so dumb that they just do it anyway. That happened to my country too. I feel bad for them a little bit. I do too. There are people who are victims of their own stupidity. And that's really what it is. I think that's exactly what's happened here. Is that these are people who are 100% just victims of their own stupidity, and that's the reason why they act this way. So yeah.
What country is the Queen of England from? Originally.
I definitely don't know.
No, give me your best guess. Guess a country.
What is the country again?
Cause like, you know, you'd be like, yeah, she's kind of dumb, and she says, no, I'm not. I'm super dumb.
Give me a guess.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah, she's hot, so it's okay. But yeah, you're right.
What is a country? What is a country? What is a country? Canada.
Canada.
Yes. Do you know what time this is?
Well, Canada is a country. To be fair, she's right about that.
5, 10, 15.
Hold up. Hold up.
Yes. Do you know what time this is?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 2:45.
Yes. In the grand scheme of being stupid, this is probably only an 8. This could have been way worse. Yeah, this is only an 8, guys.
Yes. Do you know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Country?
Yeah. Give me a guess.
Oh.
Japanese.
Why would you say that? That's not even a country. No, I don't.
Yes. Yeah, like the third month of each year is.
Ain't that leap year or some shit?
Yeah. You know
to be fair, like,
Oh
if
my
you
God.
misunderstand the question, I'm not gonna shit on her that much, because she might have just misunderstood the question or misheard it. Yeah, just not listening. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Do you know what 15% of 100 is?
No. You know what he should ask her after she gets this wrong? Ask her if she has student loans.
Fuck.
Around what it is, if you had to guess.
Probably like 75. I don't know.
Yes. Do you know what country we get?
75. She does, I guarantee it. Yep, there it is. So, and this is the issue, right? Is that I think that, yes, obviously this guy probably interviews a lot of people, and most people probably get some of these questions right. But what's really the percentage here? Are we talking about like 80% get them right? 40%? 95%? I'm thinking like, I bet like 20 to 30% of people get these questions wrong. After rating in Classic WoW, I think about 20 to 30% of people would fuck these up. Do you legit think that Gen Z and chat would do better? I actually don't think that it's entirely a generational thing. I think with clocks it probably is, because people just don't see clocks very often. So it's like you probably should be able to figure this out on your own. But that being said, I think that the majority of the reason why this happens is actually just there are just people that are dumb, right? I mean, like, you could probably find boomers that are dumb like this too.
Need our independence from?
Spain.
Yeah,
How many inches are 2 feet?
I don't know.
Around how many inches? If you had to guess.
5?
Yeah.
5? I knew I was big. Uh-huh.
If you had to guess, what do you think it sounds like?
The Panama Canal?
Yes. Really multiple.
September, January, December, March, April, May, June, July, August.
Yes. You know what country to
I mean, I feel like she's the smartest one. I feel like she's the smartest one so far, absolutely. And I think it's by far. Why start with September? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Panama Canal, is it?
Panama, Spain.
Yes. What do we call a shape with 5 sides?
Oh.
Is it an octagon? Wait, that's 6. That's
well, she corrected her. Yeah, this is, wow.
Is it an octagon? Wait, that's 6. That's 8. Octagon is 8.
Okay, all right.
Is it a stop sign?
Yes. You know what year?
I'm trying to, I'm just trying to think, like, how do you get there? I don't know. I don't know. How can you not visualize that? Well, no, it's not that I can't visualize it.
Okay.
It's that I'm thinking, how did they get there? That's the question.
Where the U.S. was founded?
What year?
Around.
Yeah. like, you probably don't know what that means.
Weeks in a year?
How many weeks in a year?
No.
It's like 15. No.
Weeks in a year? I don't know. Can't count the weeks. 4 times 12, 24 weeks?
I mean, yeah, 48 is close. Yeah, 48 was pretty close. Now, 24 wasn't close. But 48 was kind of close, right? You almost got it. Yeah, I mean, this is really... Man.
Yes. How many different moons does the Earth have?
How many different moons?
4.
Yes. Do you know who fought?
I always really wish that whenever people get asked a question like this and they give like a dumb answer, I always want to know, like, how did you get there? Because like with some of these I can kind of like make sense out of it, but not all of them.
The Mexican-American War? Can't lie to you. Don't know that. Guess 2 countries. Who against who? Yeah. Philippines? Yeah, against who? Don't remember the other. You know what 3 times 3 is?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You're not about to... I'm starting to think it's fake. You starting to think it's fake? You think it's fake? You ever rated Classic WoW? You're gonna realize it's real. Like, it's real. Like, this shit's real. Like, if you think people are dumb as hell, he's saying 9, he gonna say 9? Alright, here we go.
Don't remember the other one. Do you know what 3 times 3 times 3 is?
9.
You probably just thought it was plus. Like, I feel like that's... Yeah, you probably thought it was plus. Yeah, I mean, like...
Mexican-American War.
French Revolution. I don't know.
The French Revolution.
How many moons does the Earth have?
Okay.
30? I don't know. 30?
Yes. Do you know what 33 divided by 3?
Jesus, that's a lot of fucking moons. Oh my god. 30 fucking moons. Holy shit.
Yes.
No.
33 divided by 3.
Give me a guess, a number, around what?
33 divided by 3?
Yeah.
I don't know. Fall? No. I don't know.
Yes. Do you know what 7 plus...
You're not about to mess this up, are you? Like...
7 plus 7 is?
28. No. I'm bugging. 14 plus 7. I don't know.
Can you tell me what...
Oh my god. 14 plus 7, I don't know. Oh. What do you mean you don't know? These are so fake. I'm gonna be real. I completely believe this. I completely believe this. I went to a high school, and it was not a great high school. I had math class. Let me tell you something. It's real. Y'all wish they were fake. Yeah, I was here. All right, math. No, I'm telling you guys, like this is, I believe this. No. Here's the thing, is that there was one time, I Does it seem fake or do you want it? Which one is it? Like, I'm telling you guys, like, this is both. Yeah, no, I really think these are real. I legit think these are real. I work in customer service industry. You steal really fucking fast. People are this stupid. Yeah, like you guys think this is fake. Go in the classic era and start up a raid for Molten 4 right now. Go ahead. Go ahead, find out. Find out. You're gonna find out right now. And those are the people that could figure out how to use it. So like you're already ruling out 10-20% of people. They can't figure out how to use computers. That's even worse. I've been working in sales for 8 years. This shit happened on a weekly basis. That's right. But you guys don't understand how dumb it is. It just seems so easy to fake this. That's what you think if you don't, like, you want that to be true or something.
Time this is?
What time?
Okay, I know the long one is an hour.
Yeah.
So that's 10. Oh my god.
10 what? Around what time is this?
I'm not sure.
Give me your best guess.
I want to say 10, 15.
Yes. Do you know how many moons the Earth?
15. But that wouldn't have even been right if. But that wouldn't have even. But why would you fuck? If you reverse it, no, it's not even two. This is 150. I will tell you guys this. I remember back in school, there were people who couldn't read the clock. I swear to God. There were people who they would look at the clock and they would be like, I don't know what time it is. Yep. And so, like, that's it. You ever fake it? Yeah, that's the thing, guys. Small hand clock, exactly. Look how proud they are after saying yes. Exactly. Most people just waited for the bell to ring since they didn't know how to read the clock. Exactly. It was such an issue. But I didn't realize how big this was. So one time we had a math exam, and this was like a midterm. And I walked up to the teacher, who was this, the teacher wasn't there, and I walked up to there's a substitute teacher. And this dude was like so nice, so relaxed, and he was like super chill. And everything was okay. It was actually a bit weird. I didn't know why. Looking back on it, he was on drugs. And so I go up to the desk, and I saw the answer key was on the teacher's desk. I say, you know, Mr. Substitute, what time is it? He's like, well, there's a clock behind me. Why don't you just look up and tell us what the time is? Tell me what the time is. Look for yourself. I said, Mr. Substitute, they never taught us how to read a clock. And he goes, oh, man. Yeah, school these days is not the way it used to be. He turned around and he read the clock out to me like this shit had happened before. I passed it. I'll reach back, grab the camera. My friend, right? That's the story. That's the reason why I remember it. But yeah, people didn't know how to read a clock even then.
Yes. You know how many moons the Earth has?
15.
Around how many, if you had to guess?
2?
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty close. I mean, that's about as close as you can be. I mean, you can be wrong, right? But like, that's close. Should get in there.
Border the USA?
What countries border the USA?
Like, what's on top of us?
Isn't it more cold than ours?
Man. god. Two's believable. There was a news article a while back in China that they were gonna build an artificial moon. Really? Well, I mean, isn't it also believable because, like, Star Wars had the Death Star? I mean, I feel like that's just about as fucking stupid, right?
We're Canadian. Russia.
Yes, if it's Monday.
To be fair, they're Canadian, so they don't know any. Do they even have schools in Canada? They don't? Yeah, I didn't think so. So yeah, that makes sense.
Right now, what day of the week will it be in 14 days?
If it's Monday?
It's Monday right now. I mean, like the day of the week. Like Monday, Tuesday, or like the date.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Today, Monday.
Friday.
I'll say probably like Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Yes. You know what's different?
Okay. Let's do it Wednesday or a Thursday. So, how would you know the day? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I have no idea. Who knows?
Mexico and New Mexico.
Mexico and
Are they the same thing?
Maybe, I don't know. I think.
Yes. Can you name 5 states?
Staten Island? What?
Berkeley, nah, I don't even know.
4 more.
No way.
Oh my fucking god.
No way.
Any states you want.
New York.
Okay.
You got 2?
Manhattan. I don't know.
3.
That's
2 more.
State.
Yeah.
Oh.
2 more.
Shit. Queens. I don't know if that's state. I don't know.
4. 1 more.
Let me
Any state.
The Bronx. I don't know.
5. Nice. Do you know what 3 times 3?
Man, bro, like, this girl, she really likes New York, man. Like, I guess so. Man.
3 times 3 is?
3 times 3 times 3.
Yes.
Wait, what?
5. Nice. Do you know what 3 times 3 times 3 is?
Yes.
Yes, I know. What an answer. Oh my god.
What? 2021.
Yes. Do you know how many states are in the U.S.?
I mean, you know, close enough. It's not that bad. How many states are in the U.S.? Uh-oh. You had to guess.
Yes. You know who fought in the Mexican-American War?
That's crazy. 24. Why is it 24? Like, this girl in the other clip said that she was Canadian. So, like, if she gets this one wrong, it's like... But I would understand it a little bit.
Okay, wait, what was that Mexican War?
Mexican-American War. Give me your 2 best guesses.
Dude, this gonna make me look so stupid.
Okay.
Okay, nothing happened.
What did you get?
Oh. Both of them, too. That's the thing, is it got both of them. It's not like this is like a collective answer. Yeah, bro, the 2 times. Yeah, 2 for 1. Oh my fucking god. Were people this stupid back in the 90s? so? Absolutely they were. Absolutely they were this stupid. Now, they might have been stupid about a couple of different things, but yeah, they were stupid then too. People about different shit, exactly, yeah.
15% of 100.
15% of 100?
Around what?
15%.
100.
I wouldn't say 50 because that's half.
Yeah. That's good, all right.
Isn't that half?
Give me a number.
Let's do 30.
Yes.
30. Close? Yeah, I mean, like, that's not... It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Didn't Jay Leno do this exact skit in the 90s? He did. Man on the street. This is nothing new.
You know what 77 plus 23 is?
You know, answer simple math, my guy. That's the one thing that I'm gonna fail on.
Do you know what 15%?
That's the one thing I'm going to fail on. I swear to God, if I get to see another clip of her not knowing how many states the country has, oh my God. Please give me another clip. Please. That's the one thing, bro. Like, yeah, she knows everything else. She just doesn't know math. That's it. Is it 23 or 33? Who cares? Because she probably answered 85. Like, would it matter? Like, let's be honest. Correct.
100? Give me your best guess. What do you think?
My favorite, these are my favorite whenever you see people that are probably about the age of a college student get asked questions of what percentages are, considering a lot of them probably have student loans. That's the funniest fucking shit to me. That is just, yeah, that's bad. And grades, yeah.
15% of 100 is 50.
Oh shit, that's a real one. Yeah, that's a real one.
I'm terrible at math. Wait, what was that?
15% of 100. Around what?
25%?
You know what the 4 directions on a compass are?
15%, 25%. Nope. No, that's not it. Yeah, that's not. No, it's not. You're wrong.
No, not at all.
Do you know who the current
People don't know what the... So she didn't even know one of them, what the 4 directions
compass are?
No. Not at all.
That's crazy. How do you not know how a compass works? These the same chicks that shoot a bear in the woods? True. Fucking true. Absolutely true. That's a fact. Yep. There it is. And this is the thing. Is like you go and you see this. Now it starts to make a lot more sense. There it is.
You know who the current vice president is?
Oh, Barack Obama.
Who do you think it is? Take a guess.
Come on.
I don't know. I'm just waiting for Barack Obama to come back.
Do you know what
I mean, I was kind of close, you know? Yeah, I mean, I was kind of close.
It's wrong.
Continent wrong?